So today I wanted to give a bit of a look at the Simpsons episode guides. I've had these books, well this book, which is the first one, I've had I don't know, since I was about 11. I'm a huge Simpsons fan, obviously. And what this is basically a guide to the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons. So this is the first edition. It was published in 1997, so I was 1, so I probably didn't get this book right when it came out, probably about 10 years after, but I used to love it, and I used to read through this constantly. A nice little introduction by Matt Groening, which is really nice. Some bios. So yeah, like I said, I used to really love this book when I was younger and going through it, and I think it really helped solidify a sort of crazy encyclopedic knowledge that I have for the show. This is just a list of the Tracy Ullman shorts, so I'm not sure if they include this as the first 3 seasons or the first season or not at all. Let's have a look. I'm not sure, but it is nice that they have the shorts starting in 87, but I think this Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire is really considered, you know, the first Simpsons episode. So it's been quite a while since I last went through these guides, and now reading through it as an adult and reviewing it as an adult, I'm not as impressed, to be honest. Let me go ahead and sort of spoil the review and say, honestly, I would have a hard time recommending any of these books I'm going to show you, even to the most hardcore Simpsons fan. Like, if I didn't already have these from when I was younger, I wouldn't be going out and getting them today. So we'll take a look at one of the pages, because every episode gets a page, some episodes get 2. So let's just have a look at one, and because all the pages are laid out the same way. So you get the the episode title, the episode sort of production number, I guess that is, the original air date, the writer, the director. Then you get a synopsis of the episode, and then it has this show highlight section, which has what Bart wrote on the chalkboard, and then basically quotes from the show, which is kind of fun, but I don't know if it's as fun going through anymore. I much prefer to just, you know, watch the episode. And also I think because these books were sort of written before, you know, the internet had sort of taken off the way it has today, they were probably a bit more useful then. Now all of this stuff and more is just available, you know, on like the Simpsons wiki and things like that. And, you know, you'll see memes and things with some of the quotes and things, so the information's just not as valuable. And then you'll also get, which is, going through it again was sort of the thing that I found most enjoyable as an adult Simpsons fan, was sort of more the little facts, like this says, first appearance, Marge's father, Mr. Bouvier. It seems that Patty and Selma inherited their love of smoking from their father, along with murmuring style. So it's just mentioning that this episode was the first time that Marge's father appeared. And then episode song list. What else? Rebuttal. Homer brings a new low to the debate team by mooning Artie Ziff for his final argument. And then the stuff you may have missed section is sort of just like the stuff you may have missed sections are pretty good. They're just like the almost like the Easter eggs for the episode. Rainier Wolfcastle is clearly German or Austrian or Swiss, but his McBain character has a Scottish-Irish name. Okay. Homer is a Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin fan, according to the posters on his wall. In 1974, Marge wore her hair down. She put it up in her current style for the prom. Maybe not the best sort of Easter eggs. And then you also get on every page a character biography. Not a biography, it's sort of a character fact file. So for Skinner we've got occupation, nickname, Spanky, residence, education, reputation, top secret, speech, turn-ons, turn-offs. So this sort of thing, if you're familiar with any of Matt Groening's early cartooning work or any of the other Simpsons books that have been released, that's very much a sort of like similar to the sort of things they have in those books, little fact files on characters. So the only other thing the book really has is pages like this, which is so Homer says so it just collects all the times he says things like, you know, donuts, and then there's other ones on like the times Homer says dough, and what other ones have we got? Also in the character biographies, they also tell you which celebrity did the voice for that character. There's also, you know, song lyrics, for any of the musical numbers. But other than, you know, the very occasional you know, true Easter egg or maybe production insight or something like that, it really is just a okay, here's a list of the signs that have been, you know, that are around Springfield, which some of them are pretty funny, but it's just, you know, a collection of them and then a reference to what episode they appeared in. Yeah, it's a collection of quotes and then just sort of little trivia and facts and things that you could, you know, if you're sort of an eagle-eyed viewer, you're going to know anyway. So yeah, like I said, they're not, I sort of just keep them for, you know, memory's sake and because I am such a big fan. But in terms of reference, you know, unless you're a Simpsons fan, a huge Simpsons fan who feels like they need this as a reference work, yeah, they're not that great. You know, they can be a little bit fun to just sort of go back and look through. A bunch of crusty merchandise. One nice thing about going back and looking through these was there were so many episodes that inspired me to want to go and watch again, and you know, ones that I had sort of forgotten about, and some really great quotes that I'd forgotten about. But yeah, unless you're the sort of fan who feels like you need this sort of reference. So this is in the Prohibition episode. Moe's Pet Shop, the marquee fronting Moe's new speakeasy. So you would know that just from watching the episode. There is an index section that, you know, is kind of nice to help you if you want to try and find something specific. But again, wouldn't you just use the internet for that now? So then in 1999, The Simpsons Forever came out, which is seasons 9 and 10. And again, an introduction by Matt Groening, and then it's the exact same format, continues. You know, it's everything that you would expect from the last one. Again, it has some of those, like, you know, all the couch, you know, it has a 2-page spread that lists all the couch gags, and other sort of collections like that. And then, one section I did like, or that sort of blew my mind when I was younger, was they tell you who does what voice, and I couldn't believe that, here it is, that, you know, a handful of people do hundreds of voices. So here's all the, you know, again, lyrics to the songs, the index. I'll go through these smaller ones pretty quick because, again, they're just exactly the same format. Then Simpsons One Step Beyond Forever was seasons 13 and 14. I think this was probably out in about 2002. Now this one actually does have something pretty nice. Again, the bulk of the book